My next guest has followed all the moving parts and players for over 20 years. He is Chris Dixon of the Gabelli Group Capital Partners. And Chris, great to have you with us, particularly on this day, of course, after interviewing Ted Turner and hearing all of his comments. What struck out at us, of course, is this idea, this crazy idea he had that if he had a wish list, he'd love to come back and run Time Warner. But just kind of curious. I mean, Ted did a lot of great things, and he did a lot for Turner Broadcasting, sold to Time Warner. If he were to come back, suppose we were to come back, what would he do there? I mean, what do you think he could do there? I
think the key thing to understand is that Jeff Bewkes and the folks at Time Warner are effectively executing what was Ted's grand vision. He always looked to see an integrated solution between cable television networks and effectively a motion picture studio. He bid a number of times for MGM.
Yes.
And if you take a look at what's going on with Time Warner, they're effectively divesting themselves or potentially divesting themselves of those non-core assets, and it's turning into exactly what Ted envisioned.
Exactly right, and I mean a lot of the assets that they have are basically Ted's assets, the strongest ones, right?
Well, I think the other thing to understand is we're going through a huge structural shift in the media industry. We're effectively in the second act of the digital age, and so the real challenge for these companies, and whether it's the events that we've seen with Vivendi and NBC and Comcast, or what's going on with Time Warner, is how do you take these assets and how do you start to make sure that you're able to take advantage of the behavioral shifts that really have taken place dramatically in the last 5 to 10 years. And that's the challenge for each of these companies.
Well, Chris, what do you make of this Comcast NAB for NBC?
Well, the good news is that Comcast now has a currency, and this is a doable deal. I think it's important to recognize, however, that you basically need to have 3 key assumptions. The first assumption is that Vivendi wants to sell. There's some question as to that, and until Vivendi
you doubt it?
I'm not sure yet.
You have some doubt, okay.
I'm not sure yet. I mean, clearly the board is keeping it very close to the vest, and they're trying to decide what they're going to do. I think it makes sense. Clearly, it's a non-core asset, and to the degree that the asset could be valued in somewhere between $6 to $8 billion to Vivendi, which would then give them the opportunity to go into the market, that'd be good news. For Comcast, it's a terrific opportunity because it's a strategic shift that's taken place.
All right.